let's talk about this offensive line. I don't mean to bring up excuses, but this offensive line today, okay, there was no Trent Williams, no Mike McGlinchey, no Daniel Brunskill. And that means no, I mean, Mack and Tomlinson aren't on the team anymore. So you got 5 new guys out there. It's not looking great. Actually, Aaron Banks seemed like he was doing okay. Coleman, the left side seemed like he was doing okay. It was the right side that kept getting caved in today. That's Spencer Burford and Jalen Moore. They may be really talented, but I don't know if they're strong enough to play yet. So I don't know what I think the Niners really need McGlinchey and Brunskill one more year, both of them, to be good.
Yeah. Well, you talked about struggles from Trey Lance. It definitely doesn't help when your offensive line isn't really protecting. You have all those young guys out there
Yeah.
right now, but it's good. Listen. Typically, practice,
Yeah.
from my experiences, is where you try to figure things out. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be good things that happen, but ultimately, it's what can guys do, what can't they do, who's getting better, how can you improve. Like, that's typically what you use that time for, and it is tough in training camp, or when media is covering things, because they're covering everything that happens, and that's kind of just you when it happens. So the offensive linemen right now, they're trying to figure out, okay, who can play. Can you play here? Can you play there? I heard Brunskill taking snaps at the center position. Well, they know he can play guard. So
Yeah.
if something bad happens at center, it's like, well, okay, we just put him out to guard. So, there are different things that they're trying to figure out, especially with some of these guys that are reserves. Aaron Bruford, like, can he start though? Can he start at guard? This is a guy that they drafted at UTSA, an athletic offensive lineman, and they got to figure that out. But also, again, this early in, my answer to a lot of these type of situations is, how does he like? What does it look like tomorrow? Because I expect guys to get beat. I expect guys to get whooped. Do you compound that mistake with another one the following day? That's when I'm a little alarmed.
If you think about it, like this should be expected. So you got no Trent Williams, no Mike McGlinchey, no starting
Right.
offensive tackles, and Nick Bosa's out there in the best shape of his life. What were we expecting? Colton McKivitz and Jalen Moore against Nick Bosa. Like, you'd almost want to say, like, if you were Kyle Shanahan, be like, D'Amico, can we just give Nick the day off? We're trying to practice. We can't block Nick Bosa. We have backup offensive attack. I mean, that's the way it used to be with Alden Smith 10 years ago. There'd be some days it's like, man, the offense really can't practice today. I don't know what it is. Like, if Joe Staley had the day off, it's like, dude, you got to give Alden Smith the day off too. That might be part of it. I mean, what are we really expecting Jalen Moore to do? But the thing that's more, I think, concerning is that Spencer Burford really couldn't block anyone today. Armstead was out. Kimball was out. He's a rookie. He's going to need a year. I think he's probably going to need a year.
Yeah, well, I think for him, he's trying to fight for not just a starting spot, but maybe that swing guy
Yeah.
where he can play tackle, he can play guard. But if he's getting beat like a drum by everybody, again, gotta change it quick. And again, it's still early in training camp too. So if I was him, or if I were talking to him, I'd say, look, okay, we see these mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Stay after practice, work on things. I heard Trey Lance was after practice working on deep throws with Danny Gray. Like,
Good.
cool. Like, do those things. Stay after. Get extra reps with something before it comes to habit. And that is another thing too, especially with rookie offensive linemen. Maybe they're teaching him things differently than he learned at UTSA. Matter of fact, he was a tackle at UTSA. Now
Yep.
they got him playing guard. The footwork is different. The hand placement is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, trying to adjust on the fly, those things as well, working new techniques, that can be a little challenging.
Yeah, if Banks wasn't ready to start it just feels like it's hard to get an offensive lineman who can really step in as a rookie and play well. Those are usually first round picks because
Well,
what
not
I've seen
Banks. I don't know. He
usually
can't.
the difference between a 22-year-old offensive lineman and a 27-year-old D lineman, like the strength difference is crazy. Those offensive linemen aren't ready right away, at least from my
Grown
spot.
man strength is a real thing.
It is a real thing. I'm 34. You should see how strong. I'm just kidding. Niners daddy says bigger concern O-line or wide receiver group with no Debo. Wide receiver group with no Debo is, I don't know.
I would have to say O-line would
O-line.
be the bigger concern, just because it's really hard to scheme around that. Like, if you don't have Debo, you can do things to where you free other guys up with screens, pick routes. You still have George Kittle, different things to get the ball in Ayuk's hands. But offensive line, you can't really hide that. So,
That's true.
again, now we are still talking about an offensive line that does not have a few of their starters out there right now. So that can make things look worse. Think about it like this: if you did have Trent Williams and maybe Brunskill at center and McGlinchey at tackle, maybe the guards look better. You know, so there's that aspect of it, where maybe there's a little help. Maybe there's times where Bruford is supposed to be helped by the tackle, maybe a chip or something, and then he's not getting that help because he has a guy that played limited snaps before, and the communication is off. And one thing about playing offensive line, especially in this like zone scheme and all that, you got to play in sync. You got to play in rhythm. Everybody almost has to move as one. So if a guy is off, that can make things look drastically worse as well.
Waruna wants to know if he should worry about the offensive line, even if Trent is available. To me, it's the biggest question on the team. Some people think the quarterback's the biggest question on the team. I don't know if you need to worry about it. There's a lot of things in life to worry about. Don't worry about the Niners. You got enough stress. Thayer Lewis says, do you think Trey Lance will fumble the first snap of the season like Jimmy G did the first game last season? Was that Alex Smith? Was that Alex Mack's butt sweat? Was that the reason that he fumbled that?
He was the one with the sweaty butt, right?
Yeah, the butts. Yeah, sweaty butt. Cole Harkey says, were most of Trey's misses a result of bad ball placement and not being on time or elite defensive play? You mentioned there was a slant behind a wide receiver. That was bad. He threw a pick right to Jimmy. That was on him. A lot of other ones were he's sacked, he's tagged, he's trying to extend the play. It's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I would call today's practice, the technical term for it was a shit show on the offensive side. But again, that happens a lot at the beginning of practice. Camp. What's up, Flav? Trey had a bad day, surprising. I'm on to TDP, though. Easily best vision of any Niners back I've seen since Gore. How do you look today? Yeah, I mean, I think a Jimmy Garoppolo fan should come to expect these bad days from quarterbacks because he made them a regular thing.